watch Shay in theater. Oh, God, it'll be awful.
Welcome to this edition of Lions Pride. I'm Steve Murray, the principal of Chelmsford High School. I'm here with our host, Mr. Al Thomas, the president of the Rotary Club. We're here to celebrate November Students of the Month, and our first student of the month we're going to talk about is from Hawthorne House. It's Emma Cava. Emma Cava has a full schedule. She does AP English Literature, AP Psychology. She's in the National Honor Society, Spanish Honor Society, and English Honor Society. She's the CHS Marching Band, serving as the drum major. And she's also in the Theater Guild, serving as a student producer, as well as all the volunteer work she does. Emma plans to major in either business or business administration at Northeastern, Bentley, or American University, with the long-range goal of being an event planner. So congratulations and welcome, Emma.
Thank you so much for having me.
So looking back at your 4 years at Chelmsford High School, is there anything that stood out for you that you really appreciated and enjoyed?
Absolutely. The people at Chelmsford High School are absolutely amazing. They're always willing to collaborate with you. They're always willing to just be there for you. I mean, I have two fellow best friends here with me today who are also students of the month, Natalie Tyrell and Chase Bowles, who I've known forever but grew really close with during my high school career. And I'm hoping to keep those friendships close to me for the rest of my life.
That's great.
You have been involved with two major responsibilities, drum major and a producer of theater. What were the challenges as drum major? I suspect that these are really kind of different roles.
They are very, very different roles. With drum major, it's a lot more, I don't want to say disciplinary role, but just making sure that everything is getting done, making sure that everyone's rehearsing efficiently. They're both really coordinating roles, but I feel like as student producer, I'm doing a lot more things that contribute to the overall product of like our shows at the Theater Guild. But with drum major, it's a lot of just directing and making sure everything's getting done.
Do you hope to continue in either of these areas in college?
I do. I actually hope to continue in both if I can. Really the only school that I'm looking at that has like a really good drum major position would be UMass Amherst. So if I end up going there, then I'll definitely be pursuing that. Definitely hoping to stay with theater through my college career as well.
One of the things that I try to do many times is to ask if there are any people through the school or the town or your family or whatever that you want to give credit to for really helping you to get through all of this.
Absolutely. I could not be where I am today without the plethora of people behind me. Both my parents work at the Chelmsford Public Schools. Michael Cava was a dean at the high school for a little bit and then a principal at Harrington. He's been a huge inspiration to me through his work as a performing arts coordinator now. My mom is currently at Parker Middle School as a long-term sub, and she's such an inspiration to me as well, her kind spirit and just the way that she's able to direct people. My flute teacher, Allison Lacasse, who I met in second grade, or actually when I was 4, I started studying with her when I was in second grade, has just become like a best friend to me. And my band director, Mr. Sexar, and my theater director, Lauren Cochran, are just amazing people.
Mr. Sexar swam for me, did you know that?
I didn't.
Yeah.
I love that.
Not because he loved swimming that much, but all his friends are on the team. He wasn't bad, to be honest with you.
There you go.
Yeah. You teach Sunday school. What age group do you work with?
I really love working with the littler kids.
Yeah.
Mostly pre-K. I've been dabbling in like first and second grade, but I love when they're just able to like play with you and like get funny responses from all the questions you ask. It's just like fun to be around.
You never know what they're going to ask.
You never know. You got to be prepared.
Absolutely. You took a couple of AP classes. Did you find the AP challenging more than the other classes, or sometimes when you're in these programs, it seems, well, I just go from one to the other.
Well, yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
kind of been my experience. I started really early on in like the honors track, and I've just kind of stayed there. I really love, like, you can definitely tell the difference with the people in the classes. I'm feeling like in the AP classes, I'm having more in-depth discussions and like more intellectual discussions than maybe my accelerated courses, and I really enjoy that sort of thing.
Well, that's great. Well, on behalf of the Chelmsford Rotary Club, I want to congratulate you on your many achievements and wish you the very best as you go on to college.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
The next student's also from Hawthorne House. It's Chase Bowles. Chase Bowles has 4 AP classes. He has AP English, AP Spanish, AP Calculus, and AP Environmental Science. He's also does the triumvirate of honor societies, National Honor Society, Spanish Honor Society, and English Honor Society. He's in the Theater Guild and was nominated last year for Best Supporting Actor. He does Middle School Community College's Children's Theater, and he's part of our famous and well-known group, the Thursdays, the a cappella group. Chase plans to major in linguistics, anthropology, or applied mathematics, and hopes to attend either Brown, McGill, or Wesleyan. And after college, Chase says he hopes to join the Peace Corps in Vietnam and attend graduate school and eventually become a college professor. That is quite the plan you have laid out for you. Congratulations and welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Well, with all of your academic achievements, what area would you like to be a professor in?
So I actually kind of was searching for that for quite a long time. I tried mock trial and to see if law was kind of my path, linguistics, anthropology. So eventually I'm just gonna see where I land, but hopefully linguistics or anthropology, maybe both. I'm not sure yet. But.
Oh, very good. When you get to Peace Corps time, why did you come up with Vietnam first?
So something, at least for me, that has been really influential has been Ms. Sullivan, my history teacher. I didn't really like U.S. history until I had her class, and she taught us a lot about Vietnam War, and I got fascinated, and I've studied ever since then. And it's my personal view that we didn't do the best there, and I want to go back and make it right.
All right, that's a good reason to go.
That is. You're also part of our a cappella group, the Thursdays, in the last couple of years, an amazing success. And so how is it this year, the Thursdays, in terms of how many positions did you have to fill, and what is the prospects this year looking?
So we had to fill 5 spots, I want to say.
Wow.
I think 5 people, yeah. So it's definitely large shoes to fill, especially coming off of the high from nationals last year. But I think we're definitely up for the challenge, and we're working hard. We have a set almost picked out, so we're working diligently and quickly to hopefully go to finals again. It's the dream, right?
I know it would be hard to totally get the picture of it, but could you share a little bit about what it was like to be in New York for that? It had to be special.
Oh yeah, it was totally special. I just remember when we came off the stage, even before we knew anything about the results or anything, we just all did a group hug. It was really amazing that a bunch of people that go to a public school in a town in Massachusetts loved each other enough and supported each other enough and sang well enough that we could even get this far and make great music. And I remember that being on that stage during the award ceremony, we didn't care if we won or lost. It was more about how we felt collectively as a group and how we felt we did. But I remember thinking, this is a long shot, it's not gonna happen, nothing's gonna happen. And I just remember the total ecstasy of realizing that, oh my goodness, we did place. And it was just wild. Yeah, it was amazing.
Are a lot of the groups from art schools?
That's, I think, part of it. There are quite a few art schools that do have a cappella groups that tend to do really well. So I think at least that it makes it more special to me that we just go to a public school and we just try our best.
Would you like to give credit to anyone that's had a lot of influence on you in the last few years?
Both of my parents have been awesome and amazing and always support me in whatever I want to do. Ms. Rader has kept me vocally and a cappella wise pushed me Miss Cochran has pushed me in theater, and I don't know where I would be without those 4 people.
Amazing.
Well, on behalf of the Rotary Club of Chelmsford, I congratulate you on your many varied accomplishments and wish you the very best wherever you end up.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Moving on to Whittier House. Our first student from Whittier House is Natalie Tierney. Natalie Tierney also has 4 AP classes. She does AP Statistics, AP Literature and Composition, AP Music Theory, and AP Calculus. She's also in the National Honor Society, Spanish Honor Society, English Honor Society. I think you can see a trend here. She's also recognized 2 years in a row as an emerging leader at Chelmsford High School. She's a scholar athlete for both varsity basketball and varsity softball teams. She was recognized by the John Philip Sousa National High School Honors Band, which is quite an accomplishment. She enjoys playing the flute, painting, reading, and Natalie plans to attend college and majoring in the math and computer science with a minor in music and entering the field of mathematics after receiving her degree. So congratulations and welcome, Natalie.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Natalie, what schools are you looking at?
Kind of everywhere in this area. It kind of varies in the different level of school. I don't really know if I like a big school or small school, but I'm kind of looking all over.
Okay. Well, it works out, to be perfectly honest. Just try hard wherever you end up and you'll be okay. Painting. We don't get a lot of people who put painting down as a fun thing to do.
Yeah, well, I'm very into the arts, both in music, and I love painting too. My mom loved to paint when she was younger too, so we have lots of canvases at home of just painting. We've had many nights with my friends, including like Emma Cava. We come over and just have these big paint nights, and we just put on a show, our favorite show, and the paint night was based on the show we were watching. We just like, paint something. I have canvases all over my room.
So I'm painting my bathroom. Is it the same or is it like different? Is that a painting party? No. Okay.
Yeah, no.
That's good. So I had a question. You were recognized by the John Philip Sousa National High School Honors Band.
Mm-hmm.
What was that and what did you do to earn that?
It's an audition-based band, and I was introduced to it by my band director and my private flute lesson teacher, Allison Lacasse, and it was really an amazing experience. Me and some of my fellow other Chelmsford High School band musicians, we just auditioned for it, sent in a take, and we were selected to participate in it. It was in Boston for 4 days at the end of our sophomore year, and it was this amazing experience to meet other musicians from all over this country. Like the person right next to me was the principal flute player from Las Vegas, and you got to meet Miss Teen America from Alaska. It was just a whole different group of people with like totally different backgrounds. It was an amazing experience.
That is amazing. Will you be playing flute still when you go to college?
I plan to, yes.
That's great.
Thank you.
Some of the bands in the colleges, we watch the football games with like 300 people.
Oh, I know. It's
They have more
impressive.
tubas than we have a whole band. I mean, we have a big band. 2 sports back to back with the academic load that you're carrying. Do you find that a physical challenge as much as anything?
It can be. It's definitely kind of hard to manage, but I've kind of tried to find my balance of figuring out what classes I can take that make sure I can keep that workload down with the
I don't think
sports I
people
do.
fully appreciate the physical side of it.
Thank you.
I can remember trying to stay awake after,
So
after a couple of practices.
Yep,
so.
definitely some late nights, but.
Let me see. I asked that.
what do the
Very good.
prospects look for your basketball,
Oh, yeah.
upcoming basketball season, upcoming softball season your senior year?
Hopefully pretty well. For basketball, we have like a lot of returners. We only lost 1 this year, so it's definitely going to be a little bit more of an older team. So we're hoping with that experience that we'll be able to have a great season. I love Coach Branco. He has been coaching there for years, and he really knows his game pretty well. So we're hoping for a good year. And as for softball, we have like a new coach who was new last year, Coach Dana Deegan, and she's played semi-pro. She definitely knows her softball, and we have again like definitely more of an older team. So we're hoping with the experience that we've gained with her last year that we'll have another good season.
That's excellent.
You've mentioned a couple of people. Is there anyone else you'd like to credit for helping you?
Yeah, well, definitely my family has been a really important part of my life to kind of get me into the music and my sports. But most importantly, I definitely want to give thanks to my private lesson teacher, Allison Lacasse. I met her when I was a little kid in her elementary school music class, and in that class I got to really found my love for music, and when she started offering flute lessons, I like jumped at it as a 6-year-old in kindergarten, and she was very welcoming even though I was so young, dealt with me even now 12 years later, and it's really grown my passion for music, and it's why I want to continue it in college.
Coming out with a math degree, what do you anticipate doing with that when you
I'm not I'm not entirely sure. I'm thinking something either within the business or more in computer science. I'm kind of going to take multiple classes and help figure out what I want to do with it. But I've loved math since I was young.
That's great.
Well, you're in the STEM area, and,
Yeah.
and these days that's worth an awful lot.
In your resume, you'll get a job
Oh,
fast.
yeah.
Thank
Well,
you.
Again, on behalf of the Chelmsford Rotary Club, I want to congratulate you on your many fine accomplishments and wish you the very best.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
And sticking with Whittier House, the other student of the month from Whittier House is Aryan Chaudhry. He has AP Calculus, AP English Literature and Composition, AP Computer Science Principles, and AP Psychology. He's in the National Honor Society, the French Honor Society, and the English Honor Society. He also does DECA and Math Team. He's an AP Scholar. He was also elected as an emerging leader last year, and he was represented Chelmsford at RILA. He also hopes to study biomedical engineering with the possibility of a PhD in that field. Congratulations and welcome. Great to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Very good.
We will start out with the same thing that the previous person. What schools are you looking at?
I really want to go to the Boston area, so I'm looking at Northeastern, BU, BC, and other than that, I think I might also be considering UMass Amherst because that's where my brother goes right now. Hopefully the Honors College, but yeah, same field, biomedical.
A lot of our kids go to the Honors College when they go out there. How's your experience in RILA been? A little ups and downs?
Yeah, my experience in RILA was great. At the summer camp itself, I learned so much about leadership, things that I didn't even know. And right now with our Interact Club, we're going pretty good, and it's our second year. We're going pretty strong, and I'm really glad I had this opportunity, but thank you about that.
You don't look like someone who would be taking Taekwondo and beating people up. And that's not what it's for, I know, I just joke. Want to tell us how you get into that and how you think it helps you as a person?
Third degree, you're pretty advanced.
Yeah, so six-ish years ago, I started picking up an interest in Taekwondo. I was really interested not only about the self-defense portion of it, but about the art form of it. There's this thing called poomsaes, which is like creative forms that you have to do. It's a certain combination of steps that you make with your hands and legs, and not only do they represent artistic elements like nature, but they also represent self-defense inside that. And so since then, I've stuck with Taekwondo, and I honestly find it very therapeutic and interesting to do, so I still want to continue that.
So you're a third degree black belt. What is the cap? What is the highest you can achieve?
The cap is, I believe, a 9th degree black belt. There's only a few in the world, and one of them is the Grandmaster who goes and teaches our academy.
So that's pretty fortunate.
A lot of the class names have changed. What is the area of the power of choice?
Area of power of choice, that is a health class.
Okay.
It's about the choices you make in terms of nutrition specifically, and we're like learning about calories and caloric intake and stuff like that right now.
Okay.
Would you want to, so the math team, what do you do, who do you compete against, and how often?
So math team, I did mostly my freshman and sophomore years. It's very similar to science team. You go to certain schools and you compete in certain events with mathematics topics. One event would be like trigonometry, one event would be calculus, stuff like that. And we're basically a bunch of smart people who really love to compete in mathematic events.
Could you, or would you like to share the credit for people who have helped you like some of the other people have?
Yeah, so I'd like to thank my mom and dad. They've both guided me morally in my life very much. My brother also, as he's one grade ahead of me, and he is always a guiding mentor to me. And on top of that, friends and family. On top of friends and family, I want to say the colleagues that I had when I was underclassmen. A lot of people that I knew from the science team were very helpful, and I still have connections with them and I asked them a lot of questions about colleges and life and things in general.
Notice you're a class rep. Is senior class in good shape for the spring?
I think the senior class is in good shape for the spring.
Do you have money?
You have an expensive venue.
Get the important.
Your venue is expensive.
Yeah, I think we have a good amount of money, and we're getting there. Yeah, we're almost at a higher place where we were previously. So
Your last few dances, you've been killing it.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the money they brought in.
It's really picked up again.
It
Huh?
has. It's wonderful. Like people go there to see me dance, so it's
Yeah,
nice.
I understand. I was on Dancing with the Stars.
There you were for the.
Not nationally,
Not
though.
nationally, exactly.
And I didn't do that well there either, but it was fun. Well, I want to thank you for all the work you've done with regard to the Rotary Club and Interact Club, and I wish you the very best as you go on. You've certainly done a good job here.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now we move to Emerson House. The first student of the month from Emerson House is Jazmin Adams. Jazmin Adams takes AP Psychology, AP Computer Science, AP Calculus, and also Anatomy and Physiology. She's in the National Honor Society, the Spanish Honor Society, and the English Honor Society. She also does the indoor and outdoor track. She's state qualifying relay runner and high jumper. I've always been impressed with people who could high jump. And she received 2 team all-conference awards. She volunteers at the church and the Chelmsford Public Library. And Jazmin has aspirations in majoring in biomedical engineering and is considering attending West Point and has a big weekend coming up here. Congratulations and welcome. What is this weekend coming up? You told me on the way here.
Yes, so I got invited to Diversity Weekend, and basically that's an opportunity for me to see what a daily life is like for a cadet. So I get to stay in the dorms, and we get to tour the school a little bit too, some presentations, just to see what the school is really about.
So what made you want to go to West Point?
So my dad has definitely had a big influence on my interests. He went to West Point. My brother was born there, so that has always been a part of my life. And then I think when I got to like freshman year of high school, I actually started considering it for an option for me as well. So yeah.
Well, we're talking about programs. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about the Harvard program that you went to, and there was one at West Point too. Maybe you could, what did you get from those?
Yeah, so I definitely had amazing experiences at both. I went to the Harvard pre-college program first, and I took a class called Speaking with Power, Passion, and Purpose. I met fantastic people there. I remember one boy was from Jordan, one girl, she was from Seoul, like different parts of the country. It was crazy. And I loved like having the opportunity to hear like different perspectives and have experiences with them. And then at West Point, we were also given insight on what life is like there. So they'd wake us up banging on the doors. We'd have PT in the morning. We'd have to sit through classes, briefs. So it definitely was an awakening.
It was just on Facebook that this year's first year group is the largest female group that they've ever had there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Jackson, I didn't know that.
And it was, I would guess it was 30 something, it looked like, I don't know.
That's huge.
High jumping.
Yes.
How did you get into that? And this sounds a little bit foolish, but which form do you use?
Flop?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I started high jump sophomore year indoor track. My coach, he saw me at practice and he was like, have you ever high jumped before? And I was like, no, I haven't. And he's like, I think you could be good. So I do the Fosbury flop, which is like the new developed method. All the high jumpers tend to use that now. And I don't know, I've just loved it ever since I've tried it. It's something that, not a lot of people can do. So, I like having the opportunity to do that.
What's your best mark?
5'2" is my highest, and I'm 5'4", so I'm
Look at
pretty
that.
okay with that. And 5'4" is the goal this year.
Good for you.
Very good. One thing, I should give you advice. Everyone from Chelmsford High School is going on in medical engineering. So it's going to be very competitive,
Yes.
apparently. That's interesting. You just go back a couple of years, nobody would even know what it was.
No, it's true.
Yes.
Everything's
new
really
major.
changed. Principal Murray asked earlier, is there a particular highlight event or something that will stick out and be the big thing that you think you remember about high school?
Yes. When I moved here sophomore year, in my Algebra 2 class, I'll definitely remember that experience because I made the most friends in that class. In the beginning, it was an honors level class, so in the beginning, I was getting used to the curriculum here and the teaching methods, and I was struggling a little bit at first, but I turned out not to be the only one. We made like a class group chat and I'd like do FaceTime calls at night working with my classmates to understand the material better. And I made my best friends in that class. Ariane was in that class with me and we're really close now too. And yeah, all my closest friends have been from that class.
Was the course good too?
Yes, yeah, and I ended up doing better. I ended up doing better once I started collaborating and working with my classmates.
Would you like to give credit to anyone while you have a chance?
Yes, I'd want to give credit to my parents for my academic endeavors. You know, they've been very involved since the beginning. And then to my coaches, Mrs. Shepard and Mr. Grenti for track, definitely.
Well, great.
Yes.
Well, first of all, it's nice to see you.
Thank
You
you,
were very
too.
pleasant to be with. And this is certainly impressive. And I know that wherever you end up, West Point or wherever, that you'll be a credit to our system. That's great. Congratulations on behalf of the Chelmsford Rotary.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And this brings us to the last student of the month for November, also from Emerson House. It's Bula Estefanos. Bula has AP Chemistry, AP Calculus, AP Psychology, AP Statistics, and a fifth one, because I think he has some time in his hands, AP Literature and Composition. He's also in 4 honor societies, probably the matching with the APs, National Honor Society, Spanish Honor Society, English Honor Society, and Science Honor Society. He's also part of the Thomas Jefferson Forum. He's been a freshman mentor. He's fluent in 3 languages, English, Arabic, and Spanish. That is amazing. And Bula plans to attend Tufts or Brown next fall and study biomedical engineering. Look at that. Excellent. That's fantastic.
Well, they'll save a
Welcome.
lot of, you just print this with
Yeah, insert name here. Insert name here. Welcome, Bula. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I guess
Pleasure.
an interesting thing to me would be to find out from you, what was, as you came to the United States and adapted to a new culture, what was the most challenging thing for you?
Well, I didn't notice that I was like adapting at first. Like 4th grade, 5th grade, all I remember from then is like playing hide and seek and recess and all that
Oh,
stuff.
all right.
It
Well,
was
that's
like a fun
good.
experience. And
Yeah.
then like in 6th grade, 7th grade, like then I began to realize that like I couldn't get help from my parents as much as other kids could. Like going home, like I didn't have parents that asked me to check X2 or like check my grades. So I had to like take on more responsibility myself. Also like just keeping my culture and like keeping my there are things that I have adapted and my parents are fine with that, but there's also like remembering who I am and stuff like that.
In Egypt, did you live in an urban or a rural area?
Rural.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I lived in a small village. It was pretty fun.
How small?
Really small.
Yeah.
It was next to a big city, so I used to go to a private school there, so in the city. But
So you did have an
yeah.
urban experience too. Well, I'm sure
Yeah.
that helped. What was the winter camp about?
The camp was so much fun. We take care of kids, and it's a church-based experience. Taking the kid, teaching them Bible lessons, but also making sure that they have a fun time. They get pretty hectic sometimes.
Yeah.
It's really fun though.
Is it like cold camping or is it?
Oh no. It's,
Well, no. Because the reason I ask is some of the scout winter camps and
Yeah.
so forth. It's almost a survival level.
Oh, no,
So you kept warm.
No, we sleep over at church.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, it's not bad.
With
to be
heaters
there,
and
it's
stuff.
Just a little
Yeah,
challenging.
we have
that's
heaters.
all. While I think of it, I want to make sure to give you a chance. People that you'd like to credit for your success.
Definitely my parents, because they taught me hard work. Mrs. Collins and Mr. Scott, which were my science teachers, they got me going down that science path, and I'm planning on taking biomedical engineering in college. Mrs. Blagg, my freshman year, I moved to Chelmsford from Uxbridge, and I had trouble adjusting that year, adapting, because Chelmsford has a good education here compared to my old school. But she was a good person who helped me adapt, and she provided a lot of comfort and support.
There are 2 clubs that I'm not familiar with: the Journey Club and the Give Club. Could you?
Give Club is the new name for Thomas Jefferson Forum.
Oh,
and
okay.
Yeah,
That I
and
know.
just volunteering and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Journey Club is a small group where we discuss religious texts and stuff like that. It's very small in Chelmsford High School, so it's not that huge club.
So from different denominations and so forth.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty interesting. I had comparative religion in college, and that was one of the best, courses.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
I come from an area with 2 different religions in Egypt, so it was
Let's see. Where are we? I'm sorry. You swim, so you're a good guy
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, I noticed when I was sitting there. I noticed you said you coached swimming.
Yeah, for a long
Yeah.
time.
I actually
Guys,
learned.
I saw on Facebook that you're ranked 10th in the nation.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
We
that's-
won MVCs too. Yeah.
Oh, very good.
I learned swimming on the team actually. It was an experience.
Well, we've had a lot of kids. We had another exchange student who was as big, as like 6'2", like that. And every time he dove in, he hit absolutely flat in the water. And why he kept coming back, I don't know, but I give him a lot of credit.
Happened a few times.
All right. Great achievement here in Chelmsford.
Thank you very much.
And I know with the experience background you have that you're going to do very well.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations on behalf of the Rotary.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And that concludes November's edition of Lions Pride, where we celebrated November Students of the Month. On behalf of our hosts, Mr. Al Thomas, President of Rotary, and I'm Steve Murray, I want to say thank you and see us next month in December when we celebrate the next 6 students. Thank you.